Hi, this is Craig Kahn from Kahn Interactive Group, bringing you another week of unscripted tips and tricks and tools for attorneys for your online advertising. Today I want to talk about pay-per-click versus SEO. And I think even the title of this segment today is a bit misleading because I don't look at it as a versus. But first let's define what we're talking about. Pay-per-click, if you're here you probably already know, is Google AdWords. Those are the ads at the top of the page and down the right hand side in the search network that people click on, and you, if you're the advertiser, are paying every time somebody clicks on one of those ads. Pay per click. SEO is search engine optimization. Kind of a vague term, but typically really amounts to making tweaks to a website and creating backlinks and writing content, doing other things to have the effect of increasing the page rank and increasing the rank on Google so that you can achieve first page rankings, ultimately trying to be ranked number one on the first page of Google for a keyword that's relevant to your practice area, or multiple keywords ideally. So the question is, why would we do pay-per-click versus SEO? Again, I want to step back 1 second and assume that if you're here you realize that or you're having a problem perhaps with your traditional yellow page advertising, which is dying or maybe even dead, and you realize that people are moving online in droves and Google's making it easier every day for people to find local businesses and information about local businesses and law firms. So that's the place where the eyeballs are going, and so you realize that you want to be listed on the first page of Google as well as the other search engines. When you're talking about pay-per-click versus SEO, I would say that it's not a either-or question. It's both, and here's the reason why. When people go to Google to search for information about your business or your law firm, and it's a simple matter of math. If you're listed multiple times on the first page through SEO efforts and pay-per-click, which you can be, you're more likely to get clicked on, right? It's just a law of averages. So if your ad's in more than one spot on one page, you're more likely to get clicked on than if your ad's only there one time on that page. Second reason is, if you're on the page multiple times, that means that there's less places for your competitors to be on that page, which means you have the effect of pushing your competitors off the page. A third reason why you want to do pay-per-click and SEO and be listed multiple times on the first page. This one's not as obvious, but imagine if you're looking around for something and you keep seeing the same person popping up in different places. You keep bumping into their ad, you keep seeing their website. You're obviously going to think they're the only and obvious choice, the person to talk to first, the dominant player, the 300-pound gorilla. They're the ones you need to talk to. You'll have that effect as well. And number 4, sometimes being listed only once on the page through SEO efforts leaves you vulnerable to a Google algorithm change. So Google every so often updates the way they index sites. They come up with ideas to beat the gamers, and those can have the effect of pushing your page off the site literally overnight. So if you're relying on that listing for your best keyword and you're on the page one time and Google changes that algorithm, the next morning your leads are going to disappear. So you don't want to be in that situation because you're leaving yourself vulnerable. So you want to be on that page multiple times to avoid that situation from happening. Author and marketing expert Dan Kennedy puts it this way: the worst number in business is the number 1. In other words, just having one of anything is dangerous, because if something happens to it, you're in trouble. So this is insurance for you. As far as SEO goes, also with pay-per-click, everything's measurable. So you might ask, well, how can I tell whether I'm going to be getting leads from my paid ads or my SEO? Again, it's a subject a little bit beyond the scope of this video, but to answer quickly, with tracking mechanisms, software like Google Analytics, you can see who's coming from which ad, and it doesn't cost anything to put this on your site and to use it. So you'll be able to see very clearly if you're getting leads from the organic efforts, the paid efforts, and how many from each. Now, if you're paying someone to do SEO for you, you also should be tracking what you're getting for your money. So if they're doing things for your site on an ongoing basis, what's the result of it? How many keywords are you now on the first page for, and are you getting any traffic for those? If you're not watching that, you really don't know whether it makes sense to keep paying for those SEO efforts. You may be paying monthly and you're ranking for one keyword on the first page, and that's it. And there may be nothing else to do to keep that there. It may not be worth your time to keep paying for more SEO efforts. But if done properly, you should be able to rank on the first page for multiple keywords. So I'm not trying to talk you out of SEO, I'm just saying you need to be watching what you're getting for your money. Whereas just like with pay-per-click, you can see very clearly what you're getting for your money. How much does it cost you per click and per lead, and is that within a price range that's affordable for you when you ultimately resolve that case or handle that client's matter. Same goes for SEO. It's about return on investment. You shouldn't be spending any advertising dollars without knowing exactly what you're getting in return. So that's it for pay-per-click versus SEO. Again, my answer is you should be doing both and tracking it, and then you'll be able to tell whether or not you should continue to do them. I also like to talk at the end of all my videos this time of year about the miserable Cleveland Browns football team, who I've been following for years and who I love, but it's really getting harder and harder as the years go by to keep being a fan. And I was one of the diehards because they just keep losing and losing and losing, and it's very hard to watch them. I mean, they have no offense, and there's nothing exciting happening. I mean, last week's game against Oakland, up until the very end, it was one of the most boring games you could possibly imagine. And you know, we got rid of a coach, Eric Mangini, to get a new coach with the West Coast offense, and they don't look any better. The offense doesn't look any better. I know we don't have a lot of receivers and playmakers, but really, all this coaching change stuff is getting us nowhere. And I don't know, it looks like it's going to be a long haul to rebuild this team because they need a lot. They need better running, better blocking, better receiving, better quarterbacking, and that doesn't even bring in the defense into play at all. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I may have to stop watching soon. I hope not, because I really enjoy football. It's one of the only sports I'll watch, regardless of whether the team's winning. So that's it for today, and good luck with your online marketing, and I'll talk to you next time.